what is one taboo topic that we don't speak openly enough in the Singapore mountain bike scene?
I have wanted to talk about this for a long time, and I think we need to address it. It's like the elephant in the room, and this has got to do with electric bikes or pedal-assisted bikes. I think there are many electric bikes that exist on the trails in Singapore. There are many riders who ride them. Technically, they are illegal. They are not allowed on official trails in Singapore.
Oh.
There is a blanket ban on e-bikes of any kind on official trails in Singapore by the National Parks Board. I think this is unfortunate, and I think this ban should be repealed at some point in time. It's not a matter of if, but when this will be repealed. The rolling back of this ban should be done in accordance, and especially by observing what has been done in terms of e-bike advocacy in other countries. Even if you look at our neighboring mountain bike community in Malaysia, e-bikes there have been legal since e-bikes were invented, and there are many happy people who are able to use e-bikes over there. Further afield, you can observe countries like the US and Canada, or any country in Europe where e-bikes account for more than 50% of all bike sales from bike shops. Yeah, I would say close to 70% or 80% in some bike shops, in some communities. And what are e-bikes used for? Not just for riding off-road, but also for commuting, for more remote access. And when you talk about in the mountain biking context, e-bikes are often used for ferrying certain things like media equipment to cover like sports events. E-bikers are also at an advantage when these e-bikers are also like trail maintenance crew when they do carry heavy equipment, or medical personnel where they have to carry medical equipment into the field to cover sports events or to work at bike parks and such.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think e-bikes in Singapore are a big talking point in the sense that perhaps NParks is taking cue from the Active Mobility Act in Singapore, which covers a lot of e-bikes and regulates e-bike usage on the roads. But I think a blanket approach to just outright ban is too heavy-handed, and it doesn't account for the fact that e-bike properly used in the hands of an experienced rider or a rider who's familiar with its operation doesn't have as much environmental impact as the same rider on a normal bike. It's like an e-bike might weigh 5 or 6 or 7 kilos heavier than a normal bike. You know, it's the same as somebody who weighs 5 or to 7 kilos heavier on a normal bike, and they are just happen to be very powerful and very fit, and they are inflicting the same amount of so-called environmental impact or damage to the trail per se. And I think a more thorough study needs to be done to assess the comparative impact on the trail maintenance for e-bikes versus regular bikes, and this needs to be done at length. I think once we get that study going, or we get that conversation going, we can actually start to legalize e-bikes and make e-bikes accessible to more people, because e-bikes are such a convenience and they are able to allow less able people to enjoy the same trails. For example, people who suffer from mobility or cardiovascular conditions which don't allow them to ride regular bikes as far or as fast. So now people who like that, who are less mobile, less able, maybe more senior in age, they're able to keep up with people who are fitter or younger than them and enjoy the same trails to the same degree, and to do so safely as well.